Ben Olsen here for you. Ben, just your thoughts on how the team's getting ready for this match after a bit of a break there with the internationals. Everyone can have a reset.
It's a reset. It's a time to recharge mentally, physically, but it's also after you get that out of the way, it's also back to work and getting better and working on some things because you have a lot of training sessions, a lot of time on your hands. So I think we did okay. We're used to the bye weeks like most teams in this league, and we all have our different formulas, and really it's about how you come out of it. Again, physically, mentally, the right balance is rested and physically, I think back to kind of where you want to be as a player, but also hungry and to get back out there, and it'll be nice to have some games. Bye weeks are always a little bit of a struggle for a coach. It's too long, too many idle hands, and we want to get back to playing.
All right, we're starting the room with Herman. Herman, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Herman.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Atlanta United, a lot of talent, but currently don't have a head coach. How does that change the preparation for facing a team like that?
It's hard. They're missing some guys, right, through Euros, and so you're anticipating guys that will fill into some of those spots, and you can make a best guess. But then you have a 2-week period for a new coach to kind of get his hands in there and give some new ideas. So we're not sure exactly what to expect, but we know the players, we know the profiles, we know about how they'll go about it. I don't think it's going to be crazy drastic, but new coaches put their spin on it. And other than the tactical side of it, there's an emotional side too, and that sometimes becomes even more important to understand when you're dealing with a team that just let go of a coach. So we expect their best, mentally, physically. They're going to be, they're at home. The energy is going to be, as good as it always is in that building. Tough place to play, turf. And they'll want to have a fresh start here and give this guy some success. So that's just kind of how it goes. So we'll have to be at our best, but that's no different than if they had anybody else. We're going to have to go on the road in this league. You have to play intelligent. You have to minimize your mistakes, deal with, make sure you're dealing with the transition moments in the right way. Obviously, they got a pretty good number 10 who can pull the strings. They got some pace and a lot of service from the wide backs, a lot of overloads. It's a tough team to deal with. I think they've been lucky with the results that they've had this year. Hopefully they can continue to be unlucky.
One more week, Brent. And then the second one is, you mentioned the summer tournaments coming up. It's been reported that Coco Carrasquilla is staying with the team for the next 2 games. How big is that for the club? And just speak on, Coco's professionalism and how that went about with the team and the Panamanian Federation.
I don't have direct contact with the Panamanian Federation. Pat Onstead does a good job of that and creating relationships. But of course, we understand what Coco means to that team and that country. Coming from someone who's played for their country in these tournaments, it's great to have representation here in our club going into Copa America and these type of tournaments where we know we're being represented in the right way. And Coco does that every time he steps on the field for Panama. So we'll wish him the best of luck when he goes. But for now, he's ours, and we need him.
Thank you, Ben.
All right, we'll start with Jorge. Jorge, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
All right.
Coach, just want to ask you, you mentioned a bit of a reset, but how much was this break needed? How was this break used? Just want to ask you that.
We use it to rest. First couple days, we let them get away, and I'm sure they're tired of seeing me. So, if nothing else, they don't have to look at my mug anymore for a few days. They come back, and we get to work. and it's a long time to kill. 10 days of training, essentially. Again, we said we have a formula that we use, and again, overall it was good, but it's choppy, right? Some guys are with Panama, Brooklyn's there, and some guy needs this. It's a good time to catch up on some errands and guys that need to do some things, right? So it's a little bit of a choppy first week, and then we come in, and then you have kind of the game at the end of the rainbow, and you really can dial in on getting better yourselves and fixing some things through training sessions and identifying a few key areas that we want to hammer home and get better at, and then focus later in the week turns to Atlanta. It's not brain surgery. We've all done this enough, but it's important to come out with the right mentality out of this week, out of these 2 weeks. I think the guys are excited to play again, and hopefully that shows on the field.
All right.
And then, sorry, one more. And then, obviously, game by game, but 3 games in a week, how have you overlooked that?
Game by game.
All right.
Thank you, Coach. See you tomorrow.
Dustin, go ahead. We'll go to you next.
Hey, Ben, welcome back.
Dustin, thanks.
Hey, you talked about it a little bit, but Atlanta kind of in a bit of a rebuild, new coach, their striker kind of on the way out. Is this a game that you look at kind of as a trap game, or is it something that you can take advantage of? Just how do you kind of go into a game like that?
I look at it as just another opportunity for us to try to get something on the road. Look, guys, you guys end up looking into a lot of this stuff more than I think we do when this stuff happens, because it's kind of the norm for us, right? Coaches are hired to be fired in this league and most leagues around the world, and it happens. I think he's a damn good coach, and it's always unfortunate when coaches get let go, because I've been there, and it's not a lot of fun. And I know he's given everything for that club, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And it's not in our control. That none of this stuff is in our control. What we control is our mentality going in there, then if we continue being collective and playing the way we can on the road, we give ourselves a chance to get some points or get something out of this game. And that's kind of about as deep as we go on this. We do know when you get a new coach, sometimes there's a new energy, but we anticipate a great energy from the home team anyways, and in a great building with a lot of fans, and it's a neat place to play. So, some of it maybe there's a little gasoline on all of that stuff because of you have a new sense of them trying to prove themselves and players feel responsible. I don't know. We'll go do what we do, and we'll see how the chips fall.
And then you guys obviously had a bunch of injuries early this season, Franco and Sebastian, Hector. But as you go into this summer now, busy schedule, how do you just feel the team is health-wise?
Pretty good. As good as we've been all year. And, to the point I've even had to make some tough decisions on the 20, the dressing 20, and that's a good sign. It's a little unfair sometimes to keep guys out, but that means you're making tough decisions. That's a good thing for the team, because we have a lot of options and players that we feel that can help us off the bench, and that hasn't been always the case this year. So we'll just keep, and that's an important time, as you said. There's a crazy stretch over the next couple of weeks before Leagues Cup, and we're going to need everybody, all hands on deck here.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Sam, go ahead.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Sam.
Hey, Ben. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah, you said all hands on deck, and international championship like Copa America, which is in the US here, has the way of disrupting, plans, programs when players leave for national team assignment. And you rightly said that Coco is a very important player for Panama and also an important player for your team. How are the team preparing to adapt to his exit when he leave for the Copa America Championship?
Well, we're in as good a shape as most teams. Some teams are losing 4 or 5, and so the more accomplished players you have on your team, the ones that are international level, that's a great thing most weeks until you lose them, and then you don't have them. So I think we have a good balance here. We lose some, and you just it's next man up. We have some guys that have been filling in, and we also, Pat and Asher and I, we anticipate this stuff. You understand who your internationals are. You look at the calendar before the season, and you say, okay, he's going to miss this much this year, so maybe we have to spend a little extra money or a little bit more resources to get somebody that can fill in for those moments. And that's roster building, and it changes, but again, that's why you build as deep a roster as you can, and people have to step up. But again, we're looking forward to watching them. We're looking forward to watching Copa America and Euros. It's a great time for soccer in this country. I'm looking forward to soaking it all up, and but yeah, I don't know. Does that answer your question, Sam?
Yes, sir. Just finally, I want to comment on the news of the new striker the club is in the market for from AK Athens. I'm talking about Ponce, the Argentine.
Never heard of him.
It's in the news that the team is finalizing to bring him on.
Oh, okay.
From AK Athens, the Argentine Ponce.
Yeah, I have heard of him, Sam. He's a good player, and we've been looking at him, so we'll see. We'll see if that is something that can come our way. But he's a damn good player, so that would be good news.
All right, wish you good luck on.
Thanks.
All right, thanks everyone. We'll have Kenny Bundy up next. Thank you.